Of all the requests I've gotten lately, and I've received a lot, number one is comfortable shoes for travel. So today I have you covered, your feet that is. We're talking comfortable, stylish shoes for your spring and summer travels. Hello ladies, welcome. My name is Kay and this is Dress for My Day. I am so glad that you've joined me. I'm excited about this video. It's not sponsored today, it's just me here, and I am sharing 12 pairs of shoes, I think it is, and I'm going to give you my recommendations on them. I'm going to give you all the details about these shoes so that you can make the wisest decision for yourself. Now, most of my readers who request travel shoes, they tell me they're going places where they're doing lots of walking. So these are shoes that are made for walking or recovery. So they're like those travels when you're doing a lot of exploring, a lot of touring, maybe walking through the city streets or whatever, you know, that kind of trip. We're not talking about the beach vacation. I figure you can pick out your own flip-flops and sandals. But these are those shoes that need to be super comfortable. They need to do something for your feet, protect you, give you stability, all those things, but you also want them to look stylish. First, I have 7 quick tips. Throughout the video, I'm going to be sharing 4 outfits that are perfect for travel and touring, you know, walking about and stuff like that while you're on vacation. And I do have 12 pairs of shoes, and I'll tell you what they're good for. My tip number 1 is you definitely need to consider packing at least 2 pairs of shoes for walking and 1 pair of shoes for recovery. So if you are going on a vacation, maybe you're going to Europe or South America or somewhere here in the continental United States, and you are going to be doing a lot of walking, then I encourage you to have 2 pairs of shoes that really work for those walking days, but at least 1 pair of shoes that are good for recovery. That means something you'd wear in the hotel or the inn when you get back, and also maybe you'd wear to dinner or breakfast. You know, things like that. Give your feet a break from those walking shoes. Tip number 2 is don't shy away from sneakers. When I went to London a couple of years ago, everybody, all the women were wearing sneakers just all the time walking around. And I do believe these were Europeans as well as American tourists. And so they were wearing them with their pretty dresses and skirts, just everything. So don't be afraid to wear your sneakers while you're walking. You know, consider that a walking shoe. That said, I do have some other options for you today, so stay tuned. My third tip is to make sure you take time to break in new shoes. And I would spend a minimum of 3 days breaking in each pair of shoes. Not consecutively, not right in a row, you know, break it up. Let's say if you get 3 new pairs of shoes, then take turns, 1 day at a time for 9 days breaking in those shoes. You want to make sure they're really broken in for your feet. Your feet are accustomed to them. You know what to expect. You know if you need to wear maybe some no-show socks or not, what have you. Tip number 4 is, of course, to alternate those walking shoes each day. So if you are walking every day, the reason you need 2 pairs of walking shoes is to alternate them. Don't wear the same pair of shoes walking 2 days in a row. That's what podiatrists recommend, and that's really what's worked for me in the past. Tip number 5 is to consider some no-show socks if you need them. That's why I said test those shoes out, and I'm going to be showing you some shoes today that you might want to wear no-show socks with. You could probably go without them depending on your comfortability, but especially when you're traveling, I think it's nice if you have to slip your shoes off when you're going through security, you might want to have some no-show socks on your feet. And in same manner, I do encourage you to think about, if possible, to wear some slip-on shoes when you travel. And I do have some great options for you today that's just so much easier to deal with when you're hustling through those security lines. Tip number 7 is like manner, and it has to do with packing. I suggest you consider wearing your heaviest, bulkiest pair of shoes as you travel, especially if you're going on an airplane and you're trying to conserve, you know, packing space in your suitcase. I traveled to and from Alaska, or from our cruise, to and from the cruise and the Alaskan road trip with my hiking boots, and I actually felt really good with them, you know, so it works, and it just is going to save you some packing space. Now, hey, if you're on a road trip, you don't need to do that, then shoot, go for it. Don't wear those heavy, bulky hiking shoes by any means. Now let's move on to the shoes that I have selected for you. I have done my research. I have ordered some great shoes, really highly recommended walking shoes. I have some to show you that I've worn in the past, others that I got in and I've been walking around my house in them, testing them out, making sure, really what I have to say about them. So we're first going to talk about travel shoes. These are shoes I would actually I would wear them as I, do touring too, but I would definitely travel in these, whereas some of the other ones I'm going to show you, I would not. So my first pair of travel shoes is from Vionic. These are the Vionic Walk Max water repellent walking shoes, and I do like them. I would say of all the shoes I'm showing you today, these are really the only pair that I have a couple of things I don't like about. So we're starting there. Number one, I don't like the long shoestrings on them. I don't know, maybe you could situate them where you could tuck those shoestrings inside somehow. I don't know how to do that, and I don't know that there's room to do that. But they have really long shoestrings that they come with. So that's number one. Number two is that you do have to lace them. You cannot slip these on. And number three is they're actually a little hard to get off and on. Once on, they feel great. They have a lot of support. They are a lightweight knit upper. They do have stability, a lot of stability. So if stability is an issue for you, these really are a great shoe. They really give you that side to side stability, so you're not going to, twist an ankle probably in these. They do have arch support. In fact, by the way, let's just go ahead and get that out of the way. Every shoe I'm showing you except one has arch support and has a cushioned insole. Okay, so everything except one, and I will point that one out. So let's just go ahead and make that a given. This shoe does come in medium and wide sizes in a full range of sizes. And it fits true to size. It runs at $139, which I think is a fair price for a good walking shoe. Would I pack this and take it on a trip? I would if I didn't have the second shoe. But if I needed that real stability, yes, this is probably the one I would take, because if you have maybe ankle issues, then this is a more supportive shoe than the second one I'm going to show you. I do love the color that I got it in here. It's kind of a neutral, but it does come in a wide range of other colors as well. And you can see here I've worn it with a really great travel outfit. I'm going to link, of course, the shoes below, but I'm also going to link everything you see in my travel and touring outfits. This is what I would consider to be a really good travel outfit. The pants are Athleta, the top is just a good white t-shirt, and the jacket is a denim jacket, of course. The second pair of shoes I have selected for traveling as well as other touring days is a pair of Easy Spirit sneakers. These are the Adira So Easy slip-on sneakers, and so yeah, that's a bonus right there to me. These are probably my preferred sneaker for travel and walking in, because they do feel good. They have a nice cushioned footbed, not as cushioned as the Vionic, by the way, but they do feel really comfortable. They do not have that side-to-side support, though. They are, obviously, you can see they are a smaller shoe, have a smaller imprint, and they're a very neat looking little shoe, but they are so easy to slip on and off without having to bend down at all. So I find them to be very comfortable and just really work for me. And I do like the fact that those, the laces are hidden. You don't have to deal with, chunky laces hanging out everywhere. And they come in 3 colors. So these are the white or ivory, I believe it is. And I think these get my vote. These are the ones I would probably pack or wear actually as I'm traveling for a touring kind of vacation right now. They are a lightweight knit upper, and a lot of the shoes I'm showing you are. You'll notice the leather ones, and I'll point them out, but most of the shoes I'm showing you are a lightweight knit upper, which I think is really nice for packing. It's going to keep your shoes lighter, therefore keep your suitcases lighter, keep your feet lighter as you're walking. It's just going to make it a little bit easier on you as you wear them all day long. Now we're getting into some other options. Those were the sneaker options I have to show you. There are other sneakers. I wore my On cloud sneakers as I traveled and toured London, and I loved those. So I will also link those in the description box below. But mine are not, looking a little rough, and so I did not even pull those out to show them. But I wore beige ones all over London. I felt really good in them. I haven't had to clean them even since then. They look fine. So yes, I'm showing you light colored sneakers, but you can clean these and you can spray them to protect them. I just really did not have a problem keeping mine clean at all. My next shoe though is a loafer, and this is the Vionic 23 Walk Loafer. Now I have noticed I bought it at Nordstrom and they are like selling out like hotcakes. So I can link you to some other places though, hopefully. I think other places carry Vionics as well, and there's a Vionic store even. So I'll get you some because these are great little loafers. They are very cushioned. They do have that side to side support. They do of course have arch support, all the good things. I think they even have a removable insole, so you might could even work with orthotics with them. I love the color here, but they do come in some other colors. They come in medium and wide. I find them to fit true to size to a little large. They're like not so large that I would size up, but I'm wearing one right now and it feels really good on my feet. My only concern is that it would slip while I'm walking. It would slip a little on my heel. And if I notice that as I'm taking that 3 days to break it in, then I would try wearing it with that little no-shows chic sock. And like I said, I'm going to link you to my no-show chic socks. They are so comfortable. They do stay put. You do want to make sure you get the right size for your foot, and they will really serve you well. So I think this loafer is so classy looking. It works really nicely with my travel outfit as well as one of my other touring outfits. I think you're going to get multiple use out of these really cute little loafers, and I think that's why they're selling so fast. And here is another fun little option. This is the Easy Spirit Venna Mary Janes. And they come in, I think, navy also. This is kind of a natural color. They also have a nice little cushioned insole, a little bit of an arch support, not a lot, just a little bit of an arch support. They are that knit upper, very comfortable, nice little traction on the bottom of them. Just another option instead of a sneaker. So especially maybe if you like to travel with dresses or a little bit more feminine attire, than, like travel pants and stuff, then this might be a great little option for you. They come in medium and wide sizes, and I think they're adorable. I think they work really nicely. Let's get real. When we need comfortable walking shoes because you're going in and out of museums or historical homes, or you're traveling the cobblestone streets, whatever, you do need to think about comfort and stability first, and then style. And so I think it is very acceptable not to be wearing something real prissy, you don't need to do that. So it's okay to look a little chunky, all that. Your shoes are going to be different when you're traveling like this, and that's okay. But adding something pretty and feminine like a Mary Jane can be a really sweet little option. By the way, for the Easy Spirit shoes, I do have a coupon code that can get you a little bit of savings, and I will link that down in the description box below with those shoes as I link them. I can't remember what it is right now, but I will either put it here on the screen or I'll put it in the description box for you. Now we're getting into shoes that I think would be, all of those I felt like would be perfect for travel. Some more than others maybe, but now we're into shoes that I think are really just good for those touring days. Now all those previous shoes I think you could certainly wear as you tour, but these I would not travel with probably, but they are really great for those walking days. And we're going to start with an Easy Spirit Denise Austin sandal. These are Denise Austin's Cordelia E-Move Sport sandals, and I am wearing them in kind of an ivory color. Maybe a sand, something like that. I love these. They feel really good. Now they are big and chunky. They're made for walking. They're made for moving. And so they are kind of chunky. I think, the chunkier, the wider, the bigger, the more, support you are going to get, and stability especially you're going to get. So this sandal is really made for walk. I mean, shoot, you could even use this for walking around your neighborhood if you want to, or just your normal walks, wherever you go in your walking trails. But this is a great option for traveling. It's a very lightweight sandal. It's big and chunky, but it's a very lightweight sandal. It feels really comfortable. Notice all those places where you can adjust them. Also, a lot of these sandals, most all of them, have Velcro. And so you can remove those different straps, adjust them just to fit your foot. I like to make the back strap nice and snug and keep the top straps just a little bit lighter, a little bit more roomy for movement in the foot, but definitely keeping that back strap tight. That's just how I move, but you can adjust them to how you like to. These do come in 3 other colors, and they come in medium and wide. Next up is the Vionic Walk Max Wanderer sandal, and like the Denise Austin sandal, it has all those little Velcro places where you can adjust these 3 different straps, your back one and the 2 top ones. I got it in gold. I thought that would be fun to experiment with. I'm not sure I love the gold, but it comes in a lot of other color combinations and colors as well. So you got a lot of things to choose from there. This is a highly rated walking sandal, and it does feel really good. Now it is big and chunky on the foot too, and that's why I said maybe the gold wasn't such a good option because it's just so shiny. I wear a size 9.5 shoes, so I have big feet, but they're kind of proportionate with my body, but still, I don't know about wearing these gold ones. They do run slightly large, once again, like the other Vionic shoe, but once again, you can adjust everything, so I just don't see that to be a problem. Other people in the review said they ran slightly large. Yeah, maybe, but everything's adjustable, so I just didn't find that to be an issue. You do need to know also that they have a 2-inch heel, a 1.5-inch platform, so that gives you a 1/2-inch slope. But for some people, like myself, that's really good. I have a little metatarsalgia, which means I need a little bit of a heel, and so this works really nicely for me. If you also need a little bit of a heel, then you might want to consider this. And other shoes I'm showing you have a heel too, and I just think that's a nice option. I think this is a great little option for doing some touring. Maybe you're going somewhere and you're touring London like I did a couple of years ago, and then in the middle of the day you're doing tea somewhere. You want something that looks a little pretty, a little nice, and I do think this shoe works that way. So a sandal like this can be a really nice cool option for those walking days. Here's another Vionic sandal option. This is their Reese leather slingback. So I wanted you to see a leather option too. But it is a walking sandal, and I think it works really nicely. It's a very comfortable shoe. It's a little chunkier than the leather sandals that I wear, like on a normal daily basis through the spring and summer. But yeah, I'd keep wearing these. I'll definitely wear them. I'm going to keep these sandals, in fact, for walking type things, and I think they're really nice. They are a real leather. Both of the straps across the top of the foot are adjustable Velcro, so you don't have to fasten them and unfasten them, just use the Velcro. And then the back strap is in place. It's set in place, but it has an elastic portion to it, so it gives you some movement there, getting your foot in and out, or just as you go through the day, so as your foot swells during the day, especially as you're doing a lot of walking. So this is a really comfortable little shoe, and it would work nicely for maybe a half a day of walking or a little bit of walking during the day, but also potentially as that recovery shoe, just that third pair of shoes that you want to take that would still be good for a little bit of walking, but maybe you're not doing a full day in these. And by the way, this is the only shoe that I found that comes in a medium, wide, and narrow sizes. So there you go for that. I know I have ladies who are saying, where are the narrow sizes? I'm sorry, I know you probably do really struggle to find those. A few of these shoes do run a little narrow already. Not the ones I've talked about yet. These all kind of run just true to size. But this one does come in a narrow, so that's kind of nice. And I think it does come in some other colors as well. It has a 1.5-inch heel and a 1/2-inch platform, so that gives you a 1-inch slope with it. Now let's talk about the Naote sandals. These are sandals that are good for walking, I think. I wore my Naote sandal all over London. Like I said, I didn't wear them 2 days in a row, but I wore them like a couple of times, and they did me really well. Now this particular Naote sandal I'm showing you here is the one I wore in London, and they don't sell it a whole lot anymore. I think they've discontinued it, and I might can find a few odd sizes, a few places to link you to, because I love this sandal. I think I have it in 3 colors. I love it so much. It just feels so good on your foot, up to me. I have a medium width foot and it really works, but it does have a lot of, those Velcro places. Once again, I think 3 different places where their straps are Velcroed, and so you can make those adjustments. I did a lot of walking in these, and I have since then too, and I think they're really good, but they do have a flat footbed, so that's something you need to know. But Naotes are known for being really comfortable, molded to your foot kind of footbeds, so I think it works. works. Now, what I am going to show you also though is the Dorith sandal. And I did a good bit of walking in these too, probably not like full days, but they are a Naote sandal also, and they have brought this one back. I got mine 2 years ago, and then they were just kind of like gone. I couldn't find them or find them in all the colors, but this year I'm finding them in a wide range of sizes and all the colors, including this pretty gold. And so I just think they're really nice. If I were going on a trip right now and I needed a little sandal, this is what I would take. It is so pretty and feminine looking, but it's still going to give you some walkability. You know, like if you just need to walk to dinner or walk to brunch, it's a really great little shoe for that. Now we are getting into more recovery sandals, recovery shoes. Now you could take a pair of little loafers or boat shoes, dock shoes for recovery shoes if you'd like to do that. But I chose a couple other pairs of sandals that I think are nice that I just happen to have in my closet. And these are the ones I would probably take on a trip right now for one of my recovery sandals if I were doing that. These are by Beek, and I had never had any Beeks before and I wanted to try them out. I ordered 2 pair. These are the Galeto slides and I love them. They are very pricey, but you could wear these all spring and summer. They do come in other colors, like a neutral and a black, I think, maybe an ivory or something like that, but I love this gold. I think this would be a really great sandal for just around the hotel or around the inn, but also for going out to dinner, going to brunch, just something a little bit more sporty, not just especially feminine or dainty, but it's going to feel so good on your foot. It has a moldable memory foam footbed, so it feels like a dream. Now they do run in only whole sizes, and on this one they suggest that you size down if you are a half size. So like I'm a 9.5, I got a 9 into this, and it works really nicely for me. My other sandal that I'm just suggesting, because like I said, it's in my closet and I love it, is this little sandal from J. McLaughlin. Now, once again, it's kind of pricey because it's J. McLaughlin, but it's a pretty sandal and it felt so good right out of the box. It has a cork heel and cork bed, so once again it's going to mold to your foot so nicely and has just a nice little amount of cushion. I do like the fact that it has a little 1-inch heel, so that gives me a little heel support there that I need even as I recover, and it just feels really good. Plus it's so pretty with that little bit of a gold to it, a little bit of, you know, cork, a little bit of cognac in there, just a pretty little sandal. So this is, to me, something like what you want for that third pair of shoes, something that your feet can breathe, right? You can wiggle your toes a little bit, enjoy a little bit more ladylike little sandal, something to go to dinner, something to go to breakfast in the mornings, things like that. And the final tip I wanted to share is that you might want to take a pair of slippers, a little, you know, travel slippers with you too. I like to travel with slippers. I generally travel with my orthotic slippers, to tell you the truth, because I just need that when I get back to my room after a day of walking. But I don't know, I'm about through with those orthotics, so I think just some travel slippers that fold up nicely that you could maybe even slip on your feet on the airplane, but you definitely want to use in those hotel rooms and stuff like that. So travel slippers are a great idea, and I'm going to link you to a few options down below in the description box. I hope this has been helpful to you. Let me know if you have any questions, because I would be delighted to answer them. I have tried all of these shoes out, and I think I could tell you, you know, what you need to know about them. I'm going to give you links to everything I've shown, including the outfits for travel that I have shown below too. Have a great day, and I will see you next Wednesday.